What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the 92 RS right here. So I just did my 500-mile break-in period oil change. Let me tell you, if you do everything the right way and you don't beat on it hard, I can't talk, I did beat on this motor because I was told you by the engine builder, it will make it. And make sure it runs cool too, because this thing last week during the last few miles of braking period, it got hot and I shut it down. But solid roller cams, awesome. I like them. That's a comp cam solid roller in there, and it's been nothing but reliable. Besides stuff I had to do with the fuel system and stuff that happened with the carburetor that I had to get rebuilt. But other than that, it's worth it. And just a little recap of what's done to this car. It is a 383 stroker, Flowtech heads, 202 intake, 160 exhaust, solid roller camshaft, Edelbrock air gap intake, 750 Holley double pumper, Eagle road heating assembly. It's 10 and a half compression to 1, and it has long tube headers on it. And it's backed by a turbo 400 with a 3200 stall and 410 gears with a posi unit in the rear end of this car. Now I'm gonna open the hood and we're gonna talk about some stuff I had to keep fighting on it. All right, so here's a 33 I stuffed into this thing. What was in it before? In it before, when I first got this car last September, I had a 355 11-1 compression motor in it. But there's a catch. The guy that built that motor and sold me this car told me it had 300 miles on it. I was like, okay. Well, that motor blew up within the second day of me owning it, as stated in the first video on this car. So what happened to that motor is it broke a intake push rod in half. I ate the camshaft and sent metal through that whole motor. And I destroyed the dart heads. The dart Iron Eagle heads that were on that motor I wanted to keep, but I couldn't because they were trashed. But yeah, this being a 383 that's in it now, I love it. It's a freaking torque monster. It makes really good power. But what I had to fight on it when I was putting it in was just lots of little stuff like usual. Hot rodding, you get stuff that doesn't want to fit. Like, as you can see, I got a card spacer on the intake because that Holley 750 double pumper with the dual plenum intake, with this side being higher than the other, the throttle blades were hitting there. And with that big camshaft that's in here, I had to crack the secondary butterflies just a little bit so this thing could actually idle and run. And it doesn't hurt at all. So I'm gonna fire it up for you, let you guys hear this thing. Make sure my switches are on. Watch oil pressure. I do need to wash it. I just drove it down a gravel driveway, obviously. But here's what it is at temp. That's how warm it gets with a 180 thermostat. I'm gonna shut it down. Does a diesel. Some people say that will. So what's my cooling system set up on this thing? All it is the factory radiator, which has no cracks in it or anything, and the freaking factory electric fan that still works. And the serpentine I set up on this thing is factory. It works. All I gotta do now is just recharge your AC. That's freaking great, ain't it? So now we're gonna talk about why I had to swap the transmission out. All right, now we're gonna talk about what happened with the 704 that was originally in this car. So as a previous owner stated before, with that old motor that was in it when I got it in the first video, it was a 704 supposedly built. I guess that transmission must have been numbers matching this car, because everything on this car is stock besides the posi unit and the gears and the motor and transmission now, and the drive shaft actually, which I had to get made. So what happened? If you guys have been following along in early videos of this build series, I cooked the 7R4, 383 killed it. It just lost second, third, and fourth. Then I only had first. So thanks to a friend of mine, he had a 400 that was built. He didn't use it, paid the money for it. I paid him, cut me a deal on it. I paid him to get him out on it, helped me put it in. It says 3-speed. Some people complain. I don't care about fuel mileage on this thing. It is my toy. I don't drive it every day. It's supposed to have fun. I go to car shows. I do big burnouts with it. That's about it. And I'm going to start taking it to the track. But with the 3200 stall matched up with that camshaft and that rear gear, just fine. All right. So drive shaft. It's an aluminum drive shaft rated to 600 horsepower. This motor's not making that right now. That's the keyword right now. It's not making 600. I did have to use a UMI cross member when I put this transmission in, and using the same style exhaust kit that I had on it with the 7R4 in it wasn't going to work. So this is what happened. Good ground clearance. Worth it to me. The thing sounds amazing. So long story short, was it worth building this car? Yes. Was that a pain in my... You know what? Yes, it was. Because all the half done stuff that wasn't done right, I had to fix from the previous owner. Like, I had to redo the whole fuel system. I'm able to use the factory pump that's in the car with a Holley adjustable regulator for that carburetor with a return system, which I like. It was a real same gas tank in and everything. Does it make me mad sometimes with this platform? Yes, it does, because how tight everything is on it, especially with AC still hooked up to this car and everything. Not digging the car. It's a badass car. But honest opinion, build a 3rd gen, do it. Have fun. Make it fast, because we all know these things from factory were really underpowered for a badass looking car. But other than that, guys, if you have any other questions and comments you want to see done to this car, just drop them down in the comment section. I am changing those wheels to something wider, and cool stock wheels are really nice. I'm keeping them, but I got a setup for this, and I am going to change that cowl hood to an actual cowl hood, and I'm going to put the factory stripes back on it, because this is a real Z03 Heritage Edition car. But other than that, guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and see you guys around. Get your projects out. Summer's almost over. What are you guys doing? Have fun.